There you go, inside layer cut. Dickhead.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Darren Evans and this is BD Performance. We all know that you like to see topless stuff, so here you go. I know, you're disappointed it's not fake taxi Stacey, but that's coming soon for another channel. All jokes aside, today we're not sponsored by coffee. Costa, if you see this, get in touch because I spend a fortune with you and could really do with a brand deal. And Costa, you fit in real well with our brand. Get in touch. Anyway, back to the real reason. So, Lee's car had a freshly built engine, had quite a few more mods. I'll just fit the suspension to it yesterday. It was one of the more cost-effective sets of coilovers. In fact, we used it in one of the previous videos. See the link above and in the description if we can. So, why, you might ask, is this bonnet off? Well, it's simple. We're putting WRC vents in. Now, Lee's already got RS vents. I know it's going to be a matter of opinion, and I'm probably going to get hundreds of comments down below that you shouldn't run the two together, but we're all unique, and it's Lee's car, so it's his choice. Now, you'll ask me why we've removed the bonnet. It just makes it easier. In terms of cutting in the WRC vents, it's far easier with the bonnet off the car than it is with it on. The RS vents, they're simple, you can cut them in situ, they're easy to mark, easy to cut, and quick and simple to install. The WRC vents are slightly different, and I'll show you why just now. So, as you can see, we've laid the bonnet upside down. It has got a carbon fibre wrap on it. We've just covered 2 trolleys in some bubble wrap, put a bit of wood between them just to stabilise it slightly. You know, you see it is slightly wobbly, but in fairness, we're cutting these sections, the 2 end ones, so that's where our attention will be. Now, we've already put masking tape on the front, and as you'll see, with these kits, you get a couple of different templates. So you've got the 2 rears there, and this is one of the front templates. Now, that's the rear for the other side. This is the rear for this side. And we've already handily, I'm going to put this Costa down because it's in my way, handily marked up the back of it. Now this is so that you can cut each skin individually rather than just hacking a massive hole through it. These fiberglass templates are invaluable when installing these. So I don't know if Lee can pick that up on camera, but you can see the trace line of where we've outlined it. That's the section that we need to cut on the inside. And then the same for the outside. Literally, that's for that side, but the other side's over there. Literally, this side's been traced as well, but it's literally a case of following the shape, if you can see there. So that just fits to the edge there, and then you can trace round on the masking tape, and you can cut each individual skin to the right shape and not end up with any issues really. These kits with these fiberglass templates, they're absolutely stunning. So if you're going to buy these, you know, one of these WRC offerings, make sure that they do come with a kit. The original ARC kits came with these templates. Various other kits that are on the market now do come with these templates. Without these, it really is twice as long, if not more, of a job to install them. And if you have a look at the template itself, it's moulded to the shape, you can see. So it's not just a simple piece of cardboard or piece of paper. There's some time, effort and thought gone into this, and it makes the job a lot simpler. So we shall come back to you shortly. We've marked both sides. We'll cut each of the individual skins on each of the sides, and we'll come back to you and show you how these fit in, show you the installation of the vent itself into each side, what we recommend and what to look out for, touching up the edges obviously, and the fact that this one's got a wrap on the outside, a carbon wrap. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about touching up the edges. We're probably going to have to touch them up from the inner skin. It's always difficult because the bond on the outside between the vent and the bonnet is only as good as the quality of the finish on the outside of the bonnet. So if the vinyl, or even if you have lacquer peel or anything, then your adhesive is only as good as the background you're sticking to. So just bear that in mind. So just make sure you check. We might just have to score a slight outline big enough to be hid, or small enough to be hidden, but big enough to get some adhesive onto the WRC face itself, just to make sure that these don't come out. But we'll let you know a little bit later on. We've actually got GCM visiting us as well, and we're fitting a single vent for George, so look out for that in the video. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of just a single WRC vent. It's an unusual thing to do, but each to their own, as they say. Let us know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, then please have a look at some of our other videos, some of our other content surrounding the Mark II Focus and the Mark III, and let us know what you think. But for now, I'll leave it at that, and we'll come back to you a bit more shortly, probably with Ben, just to go through the installation. But for now, I'll leave it at that. Thanks, guys.
These vents actually come with really nice templates to allow you to mark up the bonnet accurately, ready for the cutting. So we've placed the templates on the bonnet, we've marked it all up, we've actually gone around our outlines with some masking tape, mainly for your benefit really, so that you can see exactly where we're cutting. That's it, it's ready to cut. Always wear protection. Actually, while we're on it, we've got the bonnet off the car for this particular installation, and this is because the WRC vents require the inner and outer skins actually to be cut at 2 different sizes. That is something you can't do with something like a jigsaw or similar, that is normally the preferred method for a bonnet vent installation. A grinder really is the only way of doing that, but because of obviously the amount of sparks created, we actually remove it from the vehicle just to make sure that, you know, there's no damage to any glass or anything like that. And obviously if you're cutting anywhere near any other vehicles, you know, we've got a screen behind us there, just make sure you protect everything around you. There you go, inside layer cut. Dickhead. Right, we've got both cuts done on the back side, so we've flipped the bonnet over. You can see we've already marked it all up, but we've just thrown some extra protection over the rest of the bonnet. As you would with any really, but this one is wrapped, so any hot sparks or anything like that are obviously going to melt straight into it and ruin the wrap. But we're going to cut this now, and we'll show you afterwards how we're going to go around sorting the edges ready for the bond, because obviously we don't really want to stick the vents to the wrap. They obviously might struggle to stay on, so we'll cut this out and we'll show you that afterwards. actually the top side hole is bigger than the underside, so just be careful if you're going to do a set of these that you don't go through both layers, because you're going to leave a really horrible cut on the underside. So that's the cut done. Before we take all this protective masking off, we're just going to file down the edges, make them nice and smooth, and after that we're going to touch up all the bare metal edges just so that they don't rust. Now we're just going to use a hoover to get rid of all the metal filings and everything that's been created here. We're going to use a hoover rather than blowing it, just because you make sure you get all the filings from inside the two layers rather than blowing them down in between the layers, and the bare metal filings could be left to actually well, to rust in between the layers basically. Right, before we go and bond these onto the bonnet, obviously you can see here this bonnet's actually got a carbon fibre wrap on it. So what we've done, after cutting the holes, we've taped it back up and actually marked the outline of the vent. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to remove a section of the wrap to within the outline. So obviously you can see where the vent comes up to. We're going to come slightly within that, so when the vent goes on, it looks like the wrap is still going underneath it. But we're going to cut around, we're going to remove the wrap off the bonnet, and then we are actually going to scuff up the surface of the paint just so that the bond adheres properly. Now obviously we realise in cutting through the wrap there's a high likelihood that we actually go into the paint slightly with a blade. In this instance there isn't really any other option, and obviously because we've just cut a massive hole in the bonnet, it's kind of not the end of the world. But because we've left it slightly within the line of the outer edge of the vent, we can actually, we can touch up the paintwork just to stop any rust starting in the future, and also the adhesive should just seal the damaged edge on the paintwork as well. We're in true spirit of Blue Peter. Here's one I prepared earlier. Come on. Right, we've finished the cutting, we've treated all the edges, we've trimmed the vinyl wrap back, and we've scuffed up the surface of the paint. We've scuffed up the back of the vents as well, just for extra measure. All that's left to do now really is we're going to apply the adhesive. We're not going to kind of bore you too much with that. It's literally just squirting adhesive out of a gun, nothing exciting. Then we'll go ahead, we'll drop the vents in, we'll tape them up, leave them to settle overnight, and we'll come back and show you what they look like when this bonnet's fitted back on the car.
Welcome back, guys. It's the morning after the day before. Now, it's not often I get to say that. It's normally the night before, the day before. Anyway, I'm sure you'll have seen that in one of the other videos, one of the very early videos. Yesterday we installed some WRC vents, a pair into Lee's bonnet behind us. We also did some other bits that you'll see in another video. Alongside that we did a single vent for George of GCM. Now the finished product on Lee's car is mega, considering there's a carbon wrap over the top that we had to cut back slightly. The vents look really good quality. I'm not sure who supplied them, but all I can say is that when you have a look at some of the cinematics and cutaways that Lee's done, you'll see for yourself they fit absolutely spot on. The quality of the finish is awesome. If I can find out off Lee who he purchased these from, then I will put the link in the description below. The template fitted really well, and we actually stole that to fit the vent for GCM. I think you'll be surprised at the results. Now this is going to be a bit of a Marmite one because it's fitted alongside the RS vents, and I know that the haters love to hate and they'll probably have very many comments, and the fact that it's got aero catches, but we think it looks great. And ultimately, as I've said before, it's someone's choice, it's their car. I think it looks amazing. I'm a fan. I hope you are too. But take a look at the finished product. So yeah, that's it from us guys. If you haven't already, then please consider subscribing, hit that bell icon to stay notified, and click the all so that you don't miss any of the banging videos that we've got coming. If you'd like to see something else, then leave a comment in the description below. But remember that we've also still got that 15% discount code for mirror image car care. If you see the link in the description, and maybe down below me here somewhere, no idea where it'll appear today, but we'll give you the link, BD15, it'll give you a whole 15% off Nick's amazing products. We haven't used that in a video for a while now. I just wanted to make sure I reminded you all. But for now, thanks guys, and we'll see you very soon.